Okay, audience members, Ben, let me set the scene for you. Imagine this. It is the near future. Amid an increasingly acute crisis on planet Earth, a daring team of technologists hatch a plan to save humanity. It is their plan to travel along with 1,000 specially selected people far beyond the solar system to the planet next one, where they will establish a permanent base, a new society, a new home for humanity. Ben Sauer, thanks to your outstanding achievements in the field of product design and general thinking and brilliance, you have been selected to be amongst those 1,000 people. Before you undertake this dangerous voyage, there are 5 crucial questions you must answer. So let's hear question number 1. Name one luxury physical object you want to take to your new home.
Wow, okay. So I don't know if this is really a luxury object, but it's been very useful to me recently during the crisis, which is a 3D printer. So I actually joined a group of 8,000 volunteers in the UK, 3D printing face shields for NHS workers. So given that, and given the potential new crisis on our new homeworld, maybe I'll take one of those.
I like it. Yeah, brilliant. You can 3D print masks to your heart's content on next one. That is done. Let's see question number 2. Name one exceptional person who should qualify to be among the 1,000 people to go with you to next one.
So I am a student of a conflict resolution method called non-violent communication, and I would take one of the practitioners with me to the new world to make sure that our society, everyone learns in that society how to remain peaceful and compassionate. And her name is Mickey Kashtan. She's made a big impact on my life. So thank you, Mickey.
Thank you. Fascinating. And this is going to be a very fraught and dangerous voyage. So I sense there will be conflict. That could be a very useful addition to the crew. Let's see question number 3. Create one law that bans something from Planet Next One forever. And I should say, look, there's a basic system of law. Murder is banned, theft is banned. What would you ban?
I might ban land ownership, or certainly make it really hard for people to speculate on land. I live in the most unequal country in Europe, that's the UK, and the negative effects of land speculation and inequality are very self-evident. So, yeah.
I'm with you, Ben, but when you advance that point, your conflict resolution expert is definitely going to be earning her money. I sense. Okay, let's see question number 4. This is a tough one. Explain one truth about human nature or one ethical principle to live by that you have learned from experience that you want to convey to the next one society.
Wow, that's a really tricky one. I'll try and explain this one as briefly as I can. I do not believe in free will. I think it is a human idea that actually doesn't mean anything. We live in a material universe. Our actions are simply based on chemical electrical reactions in our brain, and we're truly not actually responsible for anything we do. I think we're observers of our lives. However, and well, I should say that allows me to forgive any act in the world, right? It's a way of sort of forgiving people's actions in the world. However, I believe that you personally do have to believe in free will, because that's what gives you motivation to get up in the morning. So I believe sort of 2 contradictory things at once.
Absolutely fascinating. I mean, we could do a whole show. We could do a whole week on that. Yeah, I can believe that there's no such thing as free will, but it doesn't mean I'm not annoyed with a person if they load the dishwasher wrong. So, I know what you're saying. Okay, question number 5. Last week's pioneer was the author Douglas Rushkoff, and Douglas wanted to ask you, how do you build social and racial justice into the design process?
Wow. Yes, I heard Doug ask that question, and I immediately thought that we needed to spend an entire show on just that one, which didn't pan out. But I have been thinking about everything that's been going on since the Black Lives Matter crisis emerged. I think my advice is mostly around self-examination. And understanding what part that we have historically played in privilege. And I want to give a really personal example, because I think we need to share more of these examples and make it safe to actually have non-judgmental conversations about where we've made mistakes in the past. I have trained designers in India, and we were treated with this huge amount of reverence and respect when I went over there. And it was only in the past couple of weeks did I start to ask myself questions around how I was inadvertently and unconsciously repeating kind of colonial notions of being superior in some way, of how Western design is somehow better. Not that I ever consciously believed that, but I was caught up in a system that was essentially assuming that. And what I hope is that by being more aware of these things, we can actually interrupt those narratives and promote racial justice.
Thank you. Okay, question number 6. So next week's pioneer is the technologist and thinker, Professor Payal Arora, author of The Next Billion Users. She's all about how the internet is being used in and is going to impact the developing world. So what would you like to ask her?
Well, I think she's spoken about this before, but I'd love her to answer this again, is around what are the most common false assumptions that people in the West make about technology use and culture in India, or extend that out to the developing world as well. I think we make a lot of assumptions. I know I have, and I'd love to hear more about that.
Perfect, thank you. We will ask Professor Payal Arora that question for you, and we'll all find out the answer. Thank you so much, Ben.